this referendum, many of you will vote against it. It is normal. When Britain exited EU, so many people voted against them, but the majority carries the vote. So you are just one person. One person, one vote. It does not mean anything. It does not. So everybody with their opinion. And that's why we are in democracy. At the same time, we are in freedom fighting. So you should be asking what led to Simon Ekpa to the part he told today. It is because the time has come for somebody somewhere to take the bull by its horn, and I'm doing that. Nigeria is designed to fail, and I will be a very big tool to make Nigeria fail.
Yes.
My agenda and target today is to make Nigeria fail, and that is only Nigeria until Nigeria disintegration. Simon Ekpa, is going to do it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the next question. Thank you. Omega.
Chief Biko, somebody asked a question in this comment section.
Adachalu, you can ask on the comment section so that other people can ask him. And we have a lot of people that want to ask him a question. Omega, go ahead with your question. One or two. It won't be more than two. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's a question that had been asked that he didn't answer. I just wanted to, somebody asked to remind him that question.
No problem. It will come back to you. It will come back to you. Omega, go ahead with your questions.
Okay, Igbo Ekenemono.
Omega, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Omega,
it's on the Kwoku.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe network. Okay.
Yeah, Omega, go ahead.
Okay, where can I mono? Oh, okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak on this platform, and I already finished with me. Now, if there is a seat at home in the whole land of Igbo, how come someone his boys are destroying the properties of the people you claimed to be protecting? You lack empathy. How come your own things are going wrong in your own in Anibu, that land that you claim that you are protecting? People are dying. Sit at home. There should be other penalties to make people go in and all, but people are destroying the property of your own people. And I was on your space the other time, and you were like, you kicked me off because if I asked that question. You were glorifying that your boys were killing people, your own people in your own land. How can you be fighting and killing the people you claim to be protecting? You lack empathy, and you don't have the qualities or the character to be a leader.
Is that a question?
All right, Omega, it's okay.
First of all, please let me address him. First of all, Simon Ekpa is not killing the people that I'm fighting for. The people that are killing your people are Nigerian state. Of course, you refuse to see that.
I've been on your space several times, and I hear you speak, and I hear you praising your voice. So you can't tell me that.
I praise the Biafra Liberation Army when they neutralized Nigeria Army, neutralized Nigeria police, because these are the people killing our people. So I praise them. Like today, like yesterday, we neutralized many of them, and I posted the video. As you can see it on my page. I'm not hiding it. We neutralized them with more firepower. When they come to kill our people. Before you see how they used to kill. Like what is happening all over Nigeria today.
Yes.
In the north, they kill. Just 1 hour ago, Air Force admitted of killing 40 people in Nasarawa State. The same thing is happening in Biafra land. We stop them. Today, anytime they come, they die. Do you know how many thousands of the terrorist army have come to Biafra land and died there? So what will they do? They will not fight the Biafra army. Rather, they go and start burning innocent houses. And you are not talking about that. You are very comfortable with it. So I am not here to fight for you. I am here to fight for those who believe in their freedom.
Yes.
And you are not one of them. Thank you.
And you are killing them.
Did they complain that I'm killing them? You are the one saying it.
You are.
Right. Can we go to the next person?
Yeah.
The next Omega.
The next question is going to come from Otumba Dike. Ask your question.
Okay, because they called me out severally. Simon called me out severally about to answer him because he actually posed the question in maps in the essential. Number one, Otumsi Eku before. I've been Nnamdi East, and I made a decision as a young man, Ibina East. Okay? Because all I say,
I've heard this story before. Can you answer?
Otumba, can you just go straight to your question?
Okay. My first.
I'm sorry, but only an said it on. Is it the host?
allow, just let him entertain the questions, and then we can have conversations. But if he doesn't want, that's
This
fine.
is the
But let's
first time
ask him.
one address here in this number.
Wait. Because no chino why you. I made the yam so because
Because me how we go space. Because why you supposed to but if on the junior here kada
once so bad rock I that chair back to Igbo. Otumba biko many people change Ajuju because go straight to the point. Draw your question. Draw your then answer. And because when you're going to interject. Because now you can Otumba ga Simon draw your question. Draw your question.
I don't know say it English.
Otumba never.
Daniel, his mic is bad. His network is bad, Daniel.
Otumba
everyone now.
Daniel, mute your mic. Daniel, mute your mic.
Cannot bring people in for questions.
I was trying to lay a background that my first vehicle na southeast come Goteria. My first million na southeast come Bataria. My businesses na southeast Kanu. I made that intentional decision. That's the background I wanted to lay before I ask my question. All right. My question is, Biko, Mr. Simon, what stake do you have in the southeast? Or, sorry, that is a security question. In any stake at all in the southeast? And that leads me to question number 2. Mbemjo from A to B, a tackle why him. You answered it from the angle of Ndeno outside southeast. When I say from point A to B, question number wo fonda hono na southeast na Biafra, because ihe ni na akpawo ndị ha no ebe ahụ, we dey starve because of ndị no outside chọrọ na-agba ti okwe. My point A to B wo life, political, economical, social. Nande no na makande no na southeast, Biafrans, okay? Yes, Biafrans in the southeast from A to B. What is your plan for them? Or Sunday no outside, kill their king. What of those in southeast? And that's why my brother said that you lack empathy from the way you talk about those non southeast. I made a conscious decision as a young man that I will even die in the southeast.
So what is your question?
What was stake? 1, 2.
This is not Igbo space. This is Biafra space.
Shut up.
Ana m ekwu na-ekwusi ike sị biko ife nwanne anyị nwoke na-ekwu bụ eziokwu, ife a bụ Igbo space ka anyị bịa hashtag Igbo space. Mana ama m na o nwere ndị nada anụsụ Igbo ọ Igbo fa na-esiri ike, so ịgbagote ọ bụ na ịdị asụsụ nwa Igbo ọfụma ị na-asụ ya ka isi wee mụta, mana ka anyị kaba arụ na-asụ n'Igbo. World greatest interject ya mmadụ again ewepụ gị. This is like the third time you are doing it. Interject again a weapon. So Otumba, finalize that question. Simon Wake respond. Okay, move the mic around. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I support here Grandmaster Niku. Kaina suya nibo biko. I bear by in Ogo. You understand? When they go ha when they bataraka can with the headline. Biko kaijwa nibo. So mo ajuchago mi him choijo. Thank you.
Okay, Simon, I'm gonna mean with the question.
I want one question with Alojo. So what is the question?
Question Ojo Gable mean well any stake.
Okay, okay, and
yes.
Okay, and also is a security question. So I will answer him. I have a stake in Igbo land more than he can ever imagine. Okay. And then he talked about the life of the people as point A and point B. You know, it quite beats my imagination that many of you don't even understand that you are already in the state of war. That is what you are. You are already in the state of war in Nigeria. Do you know how many people that die in Nigeria every day in the hand of the government? Not even in the East, though. other part of Nigeria. And because we are talking about Biafra, then whenever people die in East where they kill, you call it people fighting for Biafra killing each other. But who are those killing the people in the north? Who are those killing the people in the middle belt? This is war. Do you know today that as a result of the Biafra movement, the fighter jet of Nigeria is bombarding some part of Imo State? Are you aware of that? That is a state of war. So when you are in a state of war, the only thing you think of is how to get to the enemy and defend your people. You may not see it as a defense because you never believed in Biafra, and it is normal. You never believed in what we are doing. It is normal. But what I'm trying to tell you today, if you care to know, is that Nigeria is already in the state of war, and we who understand what Nigeria is doing, we will not sit back and watch them to kill our people because we have business in the East, you have business you are doing in the East. For that reason, everybody must die, so you can become the only king. It is not going to happen. We'll fight for the best interests of people, including your own interest in proxy, if you don't believe in it. But at the end of the day, after 10 years from now, you will know the impact of Simon Ekpa and Biafra government. Thank you.
Okay. The next question, I have to read it out so that the next question, Madu Juleba, also, you drafted a map. Why is the sit at home not held at other places in that map outside Southeast? Why is he not enforcing the sit at home in other places outside Southeast? Moreover, how is the referendum done outside Nigerian sovereignty? In Finland, precisely, going to be accepted by Nigerian government? So, as are these two questions. Kedife Mena, are they more observe this sit down at home? Now, other territories, other cities, non a Biafran map, right? That is one. Then number two, Kedife Media conduct referendum outside Nigeria sovereignty. Nigerian government again accept.
Okay, let me answer him. The first question about the sit at home is that some of you knows the history of Nigeria and the history of Biafra after the war. A lot of people were brainwashed, and they brought in the divide and rule tactics, which some of you here are now, being part of today, because no reasonable person who will see what is happening in Nigeria and support Nigeria, irrespective of how bad we are fighting the freedom. Yes. So they injected this hatred on Igbo in other parts of our brothers' area after the war. And when you talk about Biafra, they say, oh, we don't want Igbo, Igbo are dominating. Igbo are dominating, and they distance themselves from it for a very long time. This is something that happened when we were not born, from 1967 to date. So what do? What we did now is to try to start the unification of the Biafra people from the old Eastern region, and we have succeeded. So the issue of sit at home is going to be gradual thing if we did not get our freedom before the earlier than we expected. So the sit at home will gradually spread to other parts of Biafra land. We may even change the tactics. We have actually achieved our aim with the sit at home, which is the delegitimization of the Nigeria from the Southeast. We have done that. So the issue of sit at home will gradually, spread to other parts of Biafra land as time goes on. But for now, the Southeast part of Biafra are the people that has paid the biggest price of one Nigeria. Yes. And that's why it is more important to them than other part of Biafra, because they have paid the biggest price and they continue to pay. So you watch and see how the sit at home and other activities of the Biafra liberation will spread. And I want to make it very clear today that we have captured the entire 40 state of Biafra. We have the presence of Biafra Liberation Army in every state.
Okay, Kaigani. The next question. Before I join the microphone. Also, as a person, let me read it out. As someone that claims to be leading Biafra, do you know how to speak Igbo? Because you have never addressed Igbos or Biafrans with Igbo language.
Onye bụ onye Igbo, onye bụ onye isi ndị Igbo na Finland for Arino. Isi m na mamara asị Igbo. Onye ha ga-asị Igbo karịa m. Onye ụchụ. Ihe nji asụ Oyibo, asụ Bekee bụ na Biafra bụrụ Igbo. Ọ bụrụ sọsọ ndị Igbo na Biafra. And mpụta ikwu okwu ọ ga-adị mana m mere ya nkwuru ya otu onye ọzọ ndị ọzọ ga-esi nụ ya maka ihe ọbụla m ga-ekwu na space ga-adị ezigbote mkpa ọ bụrụ mpụta na-asụ sọsọ Igbo sọsọ Igbo abụrụ Biafra and onye ọbụla na-ene anya ka m sobe Igbo bụ ndị ọjọọ na-achọ ka eweta that particular division na m address now. So asụ m Igbo karịa many of you here. You got to go? There.
Okay. Dalu Kaganiru.
Chief Olubelu.
We are Grandmaster Ganiru or question.
Okay, Dalu no ndebe anyị dịka isi kwu n'izuzu ihe ahụ nkata ụmụnne ọ ya dị mma ka anyị na-akpụ ya n'Igbo maka na nke wee eziokwu na nwere ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ bịara ebe a chọrọ ka ha mara ihe a ga-egete ha ga-ebu esi ebe a bụ obi tọọ m ụtọ ka Simon si na ọ na-asụ Igbo so anyị ma ajụ ya n'olu Igbo nna m mana tupu m ekwuo ya Simon ọgam enwere ihe ị na-ekwuhi ya na ọ na-amasị m ị na-asị na onye ahụ ebilivuru na Biafra nke wee eziokwu na ọtụtụ ndị nọ hia bụ ndị Igbo nwere ndị ha luzu n'agha ahụ mụ onwe m ebe m na eluzu mmadụ na-abụ grand uncle m na-abụ nwụrụ n'agha ahụ so ma dị mma ịpụta ebe esi na ha ebilivuru na Biafra ọ dịka gasị n'ọsọ gị na ndị na-eso gị bụ ihe ebilivu na Biafra ọ dịrọ mma ọ bụrụ eziokwu mana ka m chọọ ga-ajụ nche ịjụ gị Maazị Simon echetara m na sita home izizi adeclare ya for September 26 2016 ọ mgbe Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na detention ka IPOB through a map of then declare the first sit at home, which was, measurably a very great success. He would do that sit at home, both at home and abroad. And again, was Ibanye IPOB 2019. And last year, July, I think July 28, Ototun news media bulu Nabuku. Namazin Nnamdi Kanu says, what it was no. Sekusizi tukunono and him na dia nke sima mo abro nya IPOB so ana ma aju kam na aju no na agba pụta si na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu onye ndu Maazị Simon bụrụ prime minister ominili na una ada egezili Maazị Nnamdi okwu maka na ọ bụ na anyị mabụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ji ọnụ ya wee si through I think our lawyer I can't remember when you could that thing in either media this thing on the DOS BMA that thing could that call lawyer catch chetism man I was saying na ya chọrọ sit at home mmadụ itukuzi na no makia yeah biko onye ọbụla tinye aka nwere ya ga-eme ka akpọpụta anụ n'okporo ebe ọnụ so m sị ka m jụọ ka aka na-etuku na sit at home ma ọwụ contravention of ihe Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kwuru ọ ka onye abụ onye ndu ya Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ka ọ wụzi gị ma bụzi onye ndu ndị IPO maka na ịbịa na kwuo na enwerọzi ihe dịka ESN enwerọzikwa ihe dịka IPOB na ekolasụ ha niile into the question of Biafra BRGIE right nya bụ the first ajụjụ nke mbụ nke bụ m ga-ajụ gị ọsịsọ bụ kedu ihe ị nwere ikwu gbasalụ ndị DOS maka na enwere ọtụtụ oge ha bịana na spaces and mekwa communicate gwa ndị mmadụ si ya na nge nwa dị iche na gị nwa awụrụ IPOB mana esi na IPOB mụ ada abịara m ebe ịbịa jụba gị ibe IPOB ịbụrụ IPOB abụrụ m onye IPOB amarọ m mana ha na-aba pụta
so first of all and I'm going to English because and then make communication on Igbo. First of all that you lose people during the war does not make you believe in Biafra. That's number one. I want to correct that because your actions and attitude suggest you never supported Biafra. And another question, yes. I don't know on you, but your comment here suggest can make me judge you.
So I have support to Biafra.
No, I have judged you because if you are supporting Biafra, you cannot begin to indict me or start to castigate me for my process. I'm just responding to the comment. At this point, I am piloting the liberation of Biafra.
Yes.
And you can agree to that, whether you believe in it or not. So the issue of Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, I don't know why you people all of a sudden you love Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Before, some of you were attacking him, planning how to capture him, because you think that if you capture him, Biafra is dead. Now you have captured him and you have seen a monster. If you can call me that. I'm not bothered about that. However, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu being in captivity of the DSS under Nigeria cannot give us order. He is not here to know what is happening. We know what is happening better than him. And because we know whom he is, and we know what the stand is before he was captured.
Yes.
We cannot change our principle based on the fact that he was captured, and then from inside the prison, inside the DSS dungeon, he is giving us an order. That order never come from him.
Yes.
If they want to tell us that the order was coming from Nnamdi Kanu, they should release him and let him come and say it to the public.
Yes.
We have made that particular stand very, very clear. So we are not going to take any order from Nnamdi Kanu from DSS dungeon. The number two, what was the number two question? Because you will talk a lot of stories. And what was number two question?
Ajụjụ nke bụ Andrew asking gị ọtụtụ oge ndị DOS pụtagonye communicate say na game.
Okay, yeah, I understand you. Well, I will not make a comment on that because as far as I'm concerned, and many Biafrans are concerned, that does not exist. Those people are the agent of Nigeria, and we call them the IPOB Nigeria. Political movement. Yes, that doesn't exist.
Yes.
Okay, so
well, you can see whether they exist based on the action on ground.
Yes, exactly.
They don't have anything on ground. So we control the Biafra and we control Biafra land. And Biafra people are only loyal to the Biafra government in exile, not them.
Okay, Mr. Simon, question Madujo, statement rather somebody made, and I want you to react to that. He said that you are a criminal employed by the Nigerian government to cause these problems to an Igbo. What do you have to say to that? Because these are
he's an ignorant person.
Let me finish.
He's an ignorant. I will also add that he's an ignorant fool.
Hold on.
If I am employed by Nigeria government, why are you supporting Nigeria government who will employ somebody to destroy Ali Igbo? Why do you want to be part
before
of
you react so that you can react at once?
I'm reacting immediately.
Okay, Onye Pulifa is actually an IPOB member. Right?
He is not. Believe me. Do you not understand that these people are Nigeria IPOB? We call them IPOB Nigeria. That is their new name. They support election. They support everything in Nigeria. And when they fail, they come to Biafra struggle. These are the criminals that have been using Biafra struggle to enrich themselves and build their career in politics.
Okay, so you are saying you have nothing to do with
I have nothing with them. They are not Biafrans at this point.
I'm talking about Nigerian politicians. They don't give you any form of enticement whatsoever.
I don't have any contact with anybody, any politician in Nigeria, and I don't have anything to do with it. And I will never have anything to do with them. And I have said, if anybody has anything with Simon Ekpa, they should come and make it public.
Yes.
I will leave Biafra.
Okay, let's move forward. Thank you. Mighty Dot, do you have a question or you want a comment?
Well,
remember, Chief, sorry. Let me round it up before the Mighty Dot. Remember that during the election, they said Bola Tinubu paid me $20-something million to disenfranchise Obi. Now, election is over. I'm still fighting Tinubu. So how do you reconcile that?
Okay, that's fine. That's Mighty. In a question, because I'm not a question. I got on doing a question. I'm not comment. Okay. I will come to you.
Yeah, I don't really have, but the only question I have is that the only thing I wanted to say is that it's an insult to many of the intelligent people here. He do that question that he's told the question in Anaju that he's working for Nigeria. How can a country be paying somebody to destroy the country itself? And the country is still crying to Finland government.
Okay, Mighty,
let's
I
move on,
have
Chief.
to mute you, because if you don't understand how government works, then your comment is actually invalid.
You see?
Let's move forward. Kama Israel, you have a question or comment?
Yeah, I just have one question to ask Prime Minister Simon Ekpa.
Okay,
please, somebody said that he has 5 Gmail, and if he used 5 Gmail to vote, how do you verify it that is just one person that did it? Is there any way to verify that, because you said one man, one vote, 1 Gmail. So how do you verify people that use multiple Gmail to vote? Thank you.
We verify by the uploaded pictures and portrait you will post while you are making the voting. So it is not just about Gmail. When you are registering for the self-referendum, you will be asked to upload your own personal pictures. So if you have 5 email and you upload 5 different pictures, it means that 5 people have voted.
Okay, thank you. Can move forward. Simon
Ichie,
the gentle breeze.
Ichie, I want a question. Well, not from me, but from someone.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So this is from Max. Let's say, is the referendum meant for symbolic purposes? If it's not for symbolic purposes, how does it affect the Igbo people in Igbo land practically? That's the question.
What does the person mean by symbolic? Are we fighting a symbolic war? We are already at war with Nigeria. So is it a symbolic war? We are fighting for freedom. The referendum, the self-referendum, is targeted at making sure that after we have concluded the referendum, have the number, and number is reasonable, we declare Biafra, the restoration of independent state of Biafra. And I have made that comment before. So you should be able to answer that particular question when they presented it to you, that the Simon Ekpa said that this particular referendum, after it has been conducted, we, the Biafra government in exile, will then declare the restoration of independent state of Biafra.
Okay, I have a question here from the comment section. Someone says, okay, two questions. One, Osei, he claims he cannot take order or instructions from someone in captivity, but he goes about telling his followers that the reason he opposed DOS is because they refused to implement MNK's order for him to broadcast on Radio Biafra. So that's one question. Then number two, he said the question is, can you ask him if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu got released today? Will he hand over to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? So respond to these two questions.
What are we handing over? Mazen Nnamdi Kanu remained the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. So what are we handing over? We're handing over the freedom to him. We're handing over the struggle to him. We are fighting for the liberation of Biafra. So if he come and we continue where we stop.
Okay, so you remain because as it is right now, you are assuming the position of leadership. So when Nnamdi Kanu comes out, are you still going to be the leader?
He is my leader as of today. When he come out and make his position known that he's still in Biafra, we continue from where we stop. Is anybody dragging that? And people do not actually understand what is prime minister. Is prime minister the head of a nation?
Okay.
These are people who claim to be educated. They claim that some of them are commenting from abroad, probably. Is prime minister the head of a nation?
Prime minister is the governmental head of a nation.
Where are you?
Okay.
Simon,
Tell us why the mic around. So Chief Doctor Ogwego, ask your question. Then we'll go to Ngene and as Chief Quello. Dr. Ogwego, ask your question.
Chief, please.
Chief, I didn't clear because
please, Chief. Look, you see, it is either you want to use this your platform to educate people or not. Somebody made a comment here that Prime Minister is the head of a country. It's like people don't actually understand this, and you allow it to go by.
No.
We need to educate them. We need to educate her. We need to educate her.
No, I actually muted her because you guys are having back and forth, and that is something I don't
so
want to
now because you made that comment and everybody heard it, so I want to tell her that Prime Minister is not the head of a country. That's number one, and she can go and make a research and Google what the role of a Prime Minister in the government is.
Head of a country.
Is a governmental head.
Minister is the head of government. Not all of us are dumb. Not all of us are dumb. A prime minister is the head of government.
I'm a head of government. I'm a government head. Dr. Ogwego Kekeme. Akwa Igbo ki geji ajụ biko.
I'm here. English.
All right, my brother, go ahead.
English so ihe niile m ekwu ebe m asụ ya n'Igbo biko maka ma m go the Igbo space I na-asụ English even our so-called prime minister ajụbụghị ajụ m na-asụ Igbo ọ bịa ajụkwa ajụjụ ọ na-azakwa n'English and I've been listening ka nnụnụ ka ọ ya na-aza ihe niile ọ na-aza n'Igbo ajụkwa ajụjụ ọ na-asakwa ya n'Igbo mana ya dịba ọ ga-ala m Igbo na onye nwukwa onye nke a nna che nnọkwa ebe a sị nsị gba nkịtị ekwughọ m anything
Don't worry, Butigomia. Go ahead, please.
No, so yeah, upon brother, I'm telling you, upon indeed, but that's just one thing to kind of one conyo on Amaro.
Ogwego Gazianiru, Ogwego Ganiru, because just Ganiru.
My question number one, because our prime minister, my question so to aga the ESN ono formulo na enye nsogbu na southeast. Ma ndị nke na-ekidnap ndị mmadụ achọrọ m ịma biko ọ ESN nke ife ọmụrụ na-ekidnap ndị mmadụ maka enwego m nke asụ ha na-asị enwego m first hand information from onye eburu na ebiaje kamp eruo na kamp adọbịa na kamp eme ihe niile asị na ha niile ego ha ji ego mgbọ and one or two n'ọnya ka eji ya chọrọ ha ego mgbọ ha eti okwe ihe ha eme okwe ihe ọnwụna ha ewu dị fon enweghị ha mere ha emetụghị aka atọ ha treat ha nyere ya presidential treatment and ndị ha na-ebute ebe ha na-enye ha presidential treatment as insofar as na ya ekwetene ihe ha kwuru enye ha ego ha ji eme ya ha burukwe gị pis ha ebu ezu ọdị moto ya onwe ha even ma ndị polisi ya ha made ihe ọnwụ na to the police ya at all. So achọrọ m ịma number one ọkwa ndị ESN n'ụlọ ife na-eme ife ahụ one. Then secondly achọrọ m ịma the struggle ịgbagoro mbọ onye isi bụ ya onye isi gị achọrọ m ịma your struggle emego ka release since on detention achọrọ m ịma ihe imego what and what maka with your tweet na-afụ between you and the lawyer dị in charge ya because your tweet is always fighting the lawyers gị na the lawyer na-anụ ọgụ mgbe ọnwụna dị in charge the case your tweet na mgbe ọnwụna gị na the lawyer na-agba mgba front and back mgbe ọnwụna so I want to really know your own personal struggle ebe Nnamdi nọ ka release Nnamdi from DSS like your own personal ihe iti go personally. That's just my two simple questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I have no personal struggle. This is a struggle of government. Biafra government is fighting Nigeria to see the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu cannot be released by just ordinary court. Court has released him. Is he free today? The answer is no. That is to tell you that no court is going to free him. It is going to come from the bombardment we are giving the Nigerian state. Economic strangulation, making sure that very soon we stop all oil exploration in Biafra land. This is what is going to compel the government to release him. And if he is not released, we declare the restoration of Biafra. We are going to capture many of them and use them as a prisoner exchange of prisoners. Number two, the ESN you called, we don't have ESN. What we have is Biafra Liberation Army. So go and ask those who kidnap in the name of ESN, who are they working for? Thank you.
Because can I ask from because chief because chief. Reaction to you.
I react. Just Zakonata Mogi can doesn't wake a job because Ngene, get straight to your question. Then as a equal IJ. Ngene, over to you.
Chief.
No, it
was a double mute. He should be fine after a while.
I'm mute. Dalon. Prime Minister. Ndị Biafra in exile ajụjụ m nke mbụ na-agali ya ọ dịrị enough ị na-asụ oyibo si anyị economic strangulation of Nigeria aghọtara m ya maka na since m na-ene anya sitatuo ma a na-eme ndị ọ na-eme affect enwe na economic strangulation ndị Igbo ka ọ na-strangulate their economy amfọrọ m ka o si eme Nigeria affect ọ ya gbaliela anyị ka o si eme Nigeria affect ọ bụ na ndị Nigeria Delta anyị mana mgbe ha na-akụwa pipeline na ọsịa na Ọstria na ọ na-sabotage Nigeria economy nya kụziela anya gbaliela anyị nke ka sit at home si strangulate Nigeria economy. That is one. Nke bụ awụrụ ọ na-egekwe ntị kedu indices kedu yastik o ji measure success maka mgbe ọ na-asị na ibe niile ọ na-eme the successful ihe niile ọ na-eme the successful kedu yastik o ji measure this success because anyị ọwụ ndị Igbo nọ na anyị Igbo ọ bụrụ maka ha nwa nọ n'obodo oyibo ha na-agụ akwụkwọ ha na-alụ ọrụ na Monday na-asị anyị sit at home ebe anyị nwa nọ n'ala Igbo wu ndị Igbo na-agwa unu na ihe unu na-eme adịrị anyị mma si nọ na chọọ another way ị na-asị anyị na ọ dị successful. So all two simple question. Kedu ka isi believe on ihe na-eme na strangulate Nigeria economy? That is one. Number two, kedu ya seek ije measure success gị ebe anyị nwa na-efili the bond na-agwa gị na ọ dị ọzọ anyị mma ịchọ ịnata jụọ ndị Igbo taa ndị Igbo na Enugu na Anambra na the whole southeast jụọ ha ma ha kacha sit at home.
Can I answer you?
Chenu can you charge you na ask him can you answer me? You don't cut me. Don't cut me short. Can you charge you?
Let me answer this one, please.
Okay.
Yeah. So your problem. Can somebody mute? Can you mute yourself because I'm hearing myself? Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, your problem is caused by Nigeria, not Simon Ekpa. I'm not the reason why you are not educated to know what the government of
I'm more educated than you are. I am more educated than you are. You've been talking like an idiot.
Can you not interrupt me, please? If you are educated, you will know that the Southeast governors have released the impact of sit at home in the Southeast, and it is not from your pocket. The economic loss to sit at home is not measured from what you are getting to your pocket. It is measured by the revenue that the government is generating, and they have seen almost 10 billion loss, as at last year or so. That's number one. So if you are educated, you will be able to follow up the report, the economic indices, and the report coming from the governors that you are believing in today. Number
How
two,
does the government make its money, or guy?
Can you just keep quiet?
Chelụnụ ka anyị just ji n'ihe agwa anyị na-amụta education na-aga left and right. anyị mama nke left ka anyị nọ kịta. Chelụnụ biko ngwa Simon jeba n'iru onwe ka na-eme etu. Go on, Jema.
Yeah, again you talk about the pipeline of Niger Delta. The Biafra government are now making sure that we delegitimize Nigeria, also stopping them from exploiting oil, and the oil pipeline will be going on flame until they leave our land. That is happening as we speak. And another thing is that I am not here for you people to agree. There is always a two sides to a coin. You believe and you don't believe. And very, very fortunate to me and many Biafrans is that those who believe in what we are doing are bigger than you in number. And that is democracy. So it does not matter what your opinion are on this. Since you don't believe in Biafra, we can never force you to believe in Biafra. But those who believe in Biafra are bigger in number than you. And let me tell you, what we are going to do to you people, you are going to be surprised. We will adopt even more stringent measures.
You are going to allow this person to make threats?
We are going to adopt more stringent.
Simon, yeah, Charlo. One thing that will not happen, any space of non-negotiable threats, it cannot fly. I try my threats. You can open your own space and threaten people. Some might be radicalized, some might not be, some might be sitting on the fence. That's fine. But allowing threats to fly here will not work. Simon, in which you may pay your own space, sequel to this, that's fine. That conversation will continue, but I will not allow you to make threats on this space. Go ahead with your comments so you can extend more questions.
Hi, oh my God.
Why you have
Go ahead, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Mute yourself, Simon.
Yeah, if you had listened to me, you would know that there is nothing like threat. I am only explaining the stringent measures that the Biafra government will adopt, and I make reference to South Korea. So some of you are looking for a better life, looking for civilization, and I'm making reference to.
And hold on, let him land so that I can hear what he wants to say. Hold on.
Biko, Ada, can you stop this? Stop interjecting. Biko, let's respect each other. Stop interjecting. Simon,
and then I am making reference to South Korea.
But the insult on
and then you talk about is that a threat? South Korea adopted a policy that those who did not support their freedom during the time of their independence fighting will not have citizenship. It is a measure that government can adopt to punish those who did not support the freedom And I made it very clear here. So South Korea is a very developed country. You can go and check it. Is that a threat?
Okay, so what you are saying here, got it clear to everybody.
Chief, because my question, or my question.
No, Ngene, please don't touch
Ngini, we're
it.
coming back to you.
Please,
Ngini.
we'll come back to you. Hold on. I want to hear what you say.
On my question, he did not answer my question. He did not. Second question, can he stick he kept here bragging here. Not the successful. Not some of four. Can he stick arrive in a success here? He did not answer the question.
You cannot be here asking me for yardstick. Do you have any yardstick in Nigeria to measure your own success?
Yes, I have a yardstick. I'm going to get barrier at the whole southeast. People want the sit at home to stop. That's a yardstick.
Sit at home cannot stop. Sit at home cannot stop until Biafra come.
Because you are struggling for your.
Ngini Chelo, Simon, I think you get Chelo, Kokucha, Kehota, Jujia. So that you will not just be this thing listening to respond. Kotagoda Jujia Kimara Kishasa. At least you are on ground on a southeast. Biko. Thank you. Ngina mami chore Juju Gozo. Ko Ijuchago. Thank you.
Yeah. Now because come again in case of Rotara. I told him I'm na southeast. Wure ezigbo onye Igbo. Na agbo na ani Igbo. Ndị Igbo niile na-ebe akwa si kwụsịrị ha sit at home. What makes one a leader is to listen to your people. That's a yardstick. Na ndị Igbo niile nọ na southeast na asịsị kwụsị sit at home. Gị nwa na ndị otu gị nọ na diaspora na Finland na asị na ọ na work. I want to know the yardstick Ijema arrive na sit at home gị is not hurting ndị Igbo. Rather, it is favoring ndị Igbo. I want to understand the yardstick. Can we mali ihe neme?
It is favoring Igbo because the sit at home will make the international community to understand your plight in Nigeria. Of course, I'm not saying that you must understand me, because this is beyond your own understanding. Yes. And in a state of war, you do not expect to be eating in the golden plate and golden spoon. Nigeria is at war, and you must not be fighting about your pleasure or your businesses and all that. A lot of business have been destroyed in Lagos. How have you been able to solve the problem of those whom their businesses have been burned in Lagos after the election? Yes. Have you been able to approach and how do you handle
Lagos,
that?
Lagos is not my business. My business is
Lagos is not your business. That is the problem. It is my business because you don't care about any other person except yourself.
Is Lagos part of Biafra? Why should Lagos be your business? Is it part of Biafra?
Are you not in Nigeria? Are you not in Nigeria? Are you not in Nigeria?
Please, sorry, 1 second. Simon, you didn't really give the yardstick you are using to measure. But then it's in one yardstick that is working in Nigeria. So apparently there is no way to measure the success of this thing. So it's just about let's continue doing it, whether people like it or not. Provided the order comes from you. No, if I can't get them, then we'll continue to do that. Meanwhile, we don't want this thing to continue. Okay, that said, another question I want to ask you is something a lot of people would want to ask you. Do you really enjoy this bloodshed? And then when unable, do you really enjoy this bloodshed? Unable Makai, unable Ndenna, then Azwafia. Do you enjoy it? Nanibo. I'm not talking of any other place than Nigeria. You can go ahead and answer the question.
Thank you very much. That's actually the reason why I came into the struggle in the first place. The question you should be asking yourself before Simon Ekpa in 2019 or before Simon Ekpa in 2022, what was the issue of security in Igbo? Were there no killings? That is the question. Before Simon Ekpa emerged, were there not bloodshed? And who was responsible? Simon Ekpa only came as a good guy to stop it. So, and of course, some of you have fallen to the to the trap of being used as a propagandist to project the propaganda and the narrative of the enemies. And I'm not moved. That's why some of you see me as a heartless person, because none of your propaganda moves me. I have a target. The target is to free my people from the Nigeria onslaught. That onslaught has been there before Simon Ekpa emergence. But today, some of you are, some of you, of course, very few of you, are making it as if the bloodshed in Igbo land started immediately Simon Ekpa appeared. But it was as a result of the bloodshed that gave birth to Simon Ekpa. But none of you are talking about it. And also, not just in Igbo land. It is all over Nigeria. People are being killed, slaughtered every day. And of course, you claim to be supporting one Nigeria, yet you don't care about other people. I care about other people. My own perspective of how to help people is not just about Igbo people alone. I've stretched to Middle Belt. I've stretched to do the work when Yoruba people were, very active in their Yoruba nation. We were making alliances everywhere to stop the killings of indigenous people in Nigeria. So when you are making this comment, please set the record very straight that before Simon Ekpa emerged, there has been bloodshed upon bloodshed in Igbo land, and that bloodshed gave birth to Simon Ekpa. So is it true or false?
Okay, I have a question for you. On a statement you make, Leba, he said you are going to apply stringent measures, and then you made reference to South Korea. So I want to ask you this question. So somebody that has been living in Southeast all his life, doing businesses, have investments, kids, everything, but he doesn't support the struggle. So when Biafra comes, you will have to extradite the person, or you have to ostracize the person. What are you going to do to that person? Because you are saying you will deny the person.
Listen, that's where you're getting our perspectives on this is that everybody in Biafra land is paying the price of the liberation of Biafra.
Yes.
No, but you just said
our target will be, let me answer you, finish now. This is not just a yes and no question answer.
Okay, so he said, okay, explain.
So listen, so everybody in the Southeast today and in Biafra land are paying the price of this liberation. We are not yet seeing bomb and resistance and all that. It is not going to happen. We have devised a means to fight Nigeria in a very sensible and systematic way. That we're not going to go into conventional war with Nigeria.
Okay,
that will not happen.
Let me interject you. From the point you just made now, is a serious contrast to what one of your disciples said here. That
please, can you listen to what I'm saying and forget? Can you not interject me? Let me finish explaining.
I want to say it so that you can respond at once. He said that following the referendum, when you people have been given the mandate, you would declare Biafra, and then that you people have over 100,000 trained military personnel to defend Biafra. What it means is that if you look at that statement, there's an undertone there, war undertone, right? What it means is that there's likelihood there's going to be a war, and that's why you are training, or you're going to deploy about 100,000 military men to defend Biafra.
And I'm telling you now that we are already at war. Are you not hearing me? There are different type of war. There is this conventional war, and there is this guerrilla war. We are already at war with Nigeria. So yes, we have over 100,000 men, and it is going to increase. It is preparation to make sure that our land and borders are not overrun by the enemies. Okay? So what I'm trying to say now is that when after Biafra, listen please, if you really want to get what is going on, and this one that is here, smiling and smiling, after Biafra declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra, we are going to start delegitimizing Nigeria, making sure that no government house in Biafra land will stand, making sure that no Nigeria representative anywhere offices are located in Biafra land, we're going to demolish them. That's where we are going. And that does not mean a conventional war. Okay? After that, the international community, those who did not care before, they will begin to talk about it. Just like this, our brother Daniel said before, that before other people got their independence, it was in the global discussion and the global stage. We will make Biafra go into global stage. And the process is what we have started so far. So it is not that you must support it, but those of you in Biafra land, whether you support it or not, for the result we have had so far in the sit at home, the compliance, whether it is by willingly or whether you are not doing it, you are being scared as some of you are presenting it, it does not matter. What matters is that every sit at home, people are sitting at home. So for the fact that the majority of Biafrans are sitting at home, we give that credit to every Biafran in the homeland. Our target of any kind of sanction, if it is going to come, will be those who are in diaspora, who knows that their people are getting killed, and all they could do is to support those who never traveled outside Nigeria to know how people should be living. And then also, everybody should understand, nothing comes easy. Most of you that are residing somewhere today, they fought freedom and they got their independence. From America to many countries in Europe to Asia, they fought and people died. And because so many people had a business and they were doing well, they did not say, okay, let us not fight because my business will go. Let us not fight because you are destroying the economy. Let us not fight because people are going. The only reason why some of you are talking the way you are talking today is because of the War of Biafra 1967, which was not strategically fought. According to today's,
let me
according to today's understanding.
You're actually extending your conversation, and the more you talk, the more there will be more questions because you're making some points. So your plan now, from just what you said that some people are afraid of the war of 1967 because it was not strategically planned.
Yes.
So what you are saying invariably is that you are now strategically planning another war on our own soil. Because the war will definitely be, from what you're saying, will definitely be in our home soil, right? And then the war we had between 1967 to 1970 took us back. And then post-war, we had to rebuild Anibo for the past 54 years. So what it means is that what you are planning, or what you are telling over 1,000 people here, is that you are strategically planning another war on Igbo land soil. Right, so I just want to be sure that is what you're saying. Go ahead.
I believe that I'm speaking English here, or broken English.
I had you clear,
so you should understand me very well. I said
so
we are already at war. We are already at war with Nigeria. We are already at war, and what we are preparing is a defense of Biafra land to make sure that our women and children are not killed. And I said again, we are not going into conventional war with Nigeria. So how do you want me to explain it for your own understanding?
Okay, so what you are saying, the war you are talking about is apparent. Of course, denying access to dividends of democracy to the southeast, and the killing of our people by the Fulanis, of which for that reason ESN was instituted, and all of those things.
And making sure.
Hold on, let me make my point so that you can respond. Let me make my point so that you can respond. So what I'm saying in effect now, because if you are saying all of this, so what if when you declare
a very great
Biafra post-referendum, and you say now we are Biafra, and you're going to defend the soil, and exactly what happened in 1967 repeats itself, do you have what it takes to defend this thing you are pushing? Because when you declare that and federal government says no, you are still within the territorial integrity of Nigeria, and for that reason we have not agreed for any part of the country to secede. Do you have what it takes? Because that's the same question they asked Ojukwu. Then do you have? Let me land
okay,
so I can respond. Do you have what it takes to defend Anibo? Because it's not just about making statements, because that was exactly what happened, and it led to 3 million people dying from that war, including my own grandfather. So do you have what it takes to make sure that what happened between 1967 to 1970 will not repeat itself again in the southeast? You can now go ahead and respond.
All right, so let me ask you a question before I respond to you. Now, if I tell you now that yes, we are prepared for that, will you support Biafra?
Yes,
I will not support Biafra with the way you are going about things. Because
that is the point.
Listen,
how do you think? How do you see?
Yes or no question.
You see,
you don't want yes or no answer, but then you want me to respond like that. It doesn't work that way.
We know the people we are dealing with. We know that
you don't know. You don't even know.
I know. Now you just answered me. Because there is no way.
I gave you the reasons why I will not. If it's going to be with the arrogance you are displaying on this space, I will not.
Oh, you don't know? You don't follow the freedom fighters?
It's not the rule of engagement. Some of us have actually done things that can actually wow you. You don't know the rules of it's not just you that knows the rules of engagement.
So you
let
have
me
just
land.
answered
Let me
me,
land, Simon.
and the
Simon,
answer you gave, and the answer you gave here
this is actually my
is
space. You know
enough.
that. This is actually my space. So let me land.
If
You are
oh my
speaking
God.
this way and we're asking you a question, and then you feel like by throwing a question to me so that I will give you yes or no answer, but you don't want to answer yes or no, then that is very unfair point or position to take, because you can't tell me, so if you give me this now, what? No, there are things, because if I ask you some question now to say yes or no, you will not answer yes or no because you want to explain things further. So do not make it that way. If you ask me a question and I didn't say yes or no, then it means that that my point is invalid or I don't know what I'm talking about. That's what I want to clear you on. So go ahead and respond to it.
Can I address you now? First of all,
go ahead.
We are dealing with people with different ideology, different polar part. Okay, so that's why I said I am not here to convince you to agree, because it is part of democracy. People will have their opinion, but I'm telling you what we are going to do to achieve our aim. So, and it is left for you to believe it or not to believe it. And I cannot be here now telling you how I'm going to do what you don't believe in. So why do you want to know? If you don't actually believe in Biafra, why do you have to know what we are doing?
Biafra.
So I will answer, I will give you the answer that I know that cannot jeopardize what we are doing.
No. You are painting a very false and negative narrative.
You just said it here now. You said you don't believe in this kind of Biafra.
Your response and your reaction is that you are painting a different narrative, right? The way I am, right? And Biafra you are painting the picture here is just Igbos, of which is not. Because in a question somebody asked. Now the map you drew now, is it just Ndigbo? Because if Obuni Meketa Ndigbo before nearly Arofia. So does it mean Ndigbo this is Arofi here in Aquado? Then in the south now will be part of that Eldorado, that Disney World you are painting. Because they are not actually suffering what Ndigbo now suffer now. Right? So
Ndigbo, let me explain to you. Ndigbo was designed to suffer in Nigeria. And it is not from Simon Ekpa. Ndigbo have been disenfranchised from allocation, from education, from everything. So when we are fighting to leave Nigeria, it is very normal that Ndigbo will suffer the most, because they need this freedom more than anybody. It is normal.
All right.
And that is exactly what Nigeria designed. So we must be very, very deep in thinking to understand what is actually going on. That the reason they did it in a way is that Ndigbo will always be the hardest knot for Nigeria to break. And for that reason, they structured Nigeria in a way it is. That some of you have been captured, mentally. Okay?
Because let's go ahead.
That's the way it is. So Ndigbo will have to suffer the biggest part of it, because it was designed by Nigeria to be so.
Simon,
that we can never rise up against them.
Simon,
Mr. Simon, just a
Not
minute.
one honest online because
Chief, someone called Daniel Neku. So
Daniel, go ahead.
I like him. I like him. The point he make, the cost of sit at home to the federal government. Because I like him maybe about the statistics. They say that the sit at home is costing the federal government. And then, unfortunately, I try again the cost to federal government. We are not seeing it. Rather, the impact is actually on the SMEs in the Southeast. In over 2 years, at least, Ndigbo lose 7.6 trillion naira as a result of sit at home in the Southeast. The data is there. But we cannot pinpoint the cost to federal government. The sit at home in the Southeast, federal government, oil, and Niger Delta. In short, even gas and what in Igbo. Getting Imo State na some part na Abia State didn't stop federal government from harnessing it. When 2016, when we had the Niger Delta Avengers, they were shutting down. They shut down for Kanu and many other oil exploration in the Niger Delta. We knew the cost on the federal government. We knew short every day. I know for the cost. I discussed what the cost of sit at home in the south of Southeast sit at home to federal government of Nigeria. So in the my phone now, we are hurting ourselves. One. And in a me because you want to liberate yourself. You cannot go and start hurting yourself because you want to liberate yourself. Because at the end of the day, who will now survive to enjoy that thing that you want, you believe that you are chasing? That's one. Two, but now
So
in
can I
emphasizing that
address you
this
before you go to
can
two,
be
please? So
just
I'll
a
not
minute.
forget.
Let me I'm coming
Because I will
now.
forget now. You tell me you did
I
not
will
address.
remind
Let me
you, don't
address this.
worry. I will remind you, Chief. I will remind you. Hold on. The next one is this referendum, and the way you are going about it. You are mentioning that it could cost, it will definitely cost so many things. But then that is why I asked before. Which principle of self-determination follows? Are we still following the UN principle of self-determination? Can we get a new charter? Because amamuna nobros also Biafra bonina self-determination. And we call na Western Sahara. And we na Western Cape. I am Kendi Catalonia. And so many other places in the world. And we are seeing how they are going about it. Nobody is threatening anybody. Because it is not only your government that can persecute to other people agitators. In those other places, they are also going through their own, either politically, socially, or economically. And what do you make it threats? Money militia, because if you are saying this, nobody in the UN will listen to you. I believe that there were other means I get you embark here on these things. How many diplomatic efforts can I take when the Biafra government in exile beyond Nigeria to say this is how we are going about this? In a that it is people in the world know. Nobody knows about the sit-at-home in the Southeast. It is not a global news. The killing in Plateau State recently has gathered more global attention than the sit-at-home in the Southeast for 3 years now. The data is there. So, that we should look at the cost to the agitation, and the cost to Nigeria.
So can I address you?
We will, yes, I can finish. Then we should reevaluate it. I believe no ya can that when they qualify. Open they want to hate again. Open they want to see no hate Biafra.
Can I address you now?
Actually, can land your guy
Because in a land, a lot of people
Prime
are here.
Minister. What you know? I'm making my submission. You know, I've been silent since in Eku. I'm just taking some of the points that you've made. You understand? So there is a need for us to reevaluate this thing, because the cost. Let's count the cost. It is not helpful to us as a people. If you're being honest, you know. Biko, you can go ahead and respond.
All right. It is us. Let me address you. It is very wrong to say that the sit-at-home is causing economic hardship.
Simon, because you use 2 minutes. Oh, can you come up here, sir?
It is very wrong. When this person was talking, did not ask him to use 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, co-host. Oh, yeah, Miroji, co-host.
So I am the key person here that everybody is asking question. Okay.
I am the key person.
I am the key person. I'm the one. Everybody is asking questions.
Chooks. It's okay, Chooks. Happy.
So in the southeast, it is very wrong to say that the sit-at-home is causing economic hardship to Ndibo. No, it's wrong. How you can measure whether it is causing economic hardship to Ndibo is that go to every trader and ask them, how much are you making every week? From last year, or from the time the sit-at-home started, how much were you making every week when the sit-at-home was not there, and how much are you making now? That is how to know whether people are actually, in economic.
And the people are telling you that it's strangling them.
Can you stop? Can you stop,
please?
please?
The people who are in the southeast are telling you that your methods are.
But Akwa Church na vigil now. Nobody will complain.
That's none of your business.
Akwa Church and vigil.
It's okay. Because Mr. Simon, all the money on a space today. And the one I have you understand?
Take a screenshot of this thing.
So yeah, boogere. Ijwe market yo onwege. Bulu ogere. Ige juwe ghọta ndị gị na ha na-eme ka ife. No reason na-achọghị ide na challenge gị na n'ịmago na interject because I believe na at the end of the day because people na say na either accessible. Kịta anyị na ebe a, many people na-ege ntị. You understand? So at the end of the day, they will know exactly who you are. And it's not by exactly what you say, it's your attitude and everything. Biko, Adana, Honorable Adabiko, stop interjecting. No need. You understand? I ain't telling you about at the end of the day, Abasi also, I go a mile.
Rubbish.
The only thing I make kubona, Ali Igbo, I ain't telling you coordinate. Esinaka gi we me bia ni Igbo. We will not forgive you.
Look at this.
You understand? Esinaka gi we me bia ni Igbo. Kawanye njoko shi we de. We will not forgive you. That is why my name Neba Daniel Lebo Nkegebo Simon Ekpa. You understand? Nemeka watch Nemel Hunting in Neba. Abukwana the vehicle I enjoy destroyer Nibo. Yaba Yonna, you know. So when you got to New York, natural. Joya Manina tree, I make sure him and again no more negative. I will reason that culture when one. When Zenozo. Where get me or watching those on kitty. Money not what that had issue. Saying the Akitan on the Memona for more for now. Ye delegate Kekos when I forgo for now, who can come as when Yaka, Gogabagaba. My neighbors and dismiss as him ban on where he say, Ban, a man is so quadronemia. I will know one years yoku. I am on this Zimmek when self-determination. I am upon the last person, last group self-determination. I believe you, you need to look out from other people's experiences. I'm space. He started by insulting. Fine, I'm doing it in my own capacity. Don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. And my job, I would be a post. But we need peace and harmony in the Southeast. Maka one day we can see na yogi kita. We can one day. But on BMH begin na hate him and the madi me bechi nse go kwangwa age fa agwa. Echi nse go kwangwa age ya agwa. So let's learn to listen and respect people. So ya kan na yokwa no chani ne. Mi na me Biafra, mi be Nigerianist. Thank you very much. Choose go ya next.
Yeah, because we'll go ahead. All the
anyway,
Simon
now I have not addressed Daniel's question.
Prime Minister
has come to make more comment. And so the way I have been treated on this space, I have just decided to stick and see how you people are going to, handle this space. But the way I have been treated, that when other people are talking, I am muted and they interject and interrupt me, and I cannot explain what I want to explain to people. I will please leave. You can continue.
No, Biko Chanu,
you can continue your space.
Don't go.
Nobody invited me here.
Yes.
Mr. Simon, I want one question for you, but the door is open for you to leave. You're not a god. If that's how they worship you, I don't give a damn about you.
This idiot,
okay, that's fine. That's okay. We can move forward. Biafra Biafra Simon Biafra Biafra so no bona melo no ga balo shakla ka fear makana na cho inweta Biafra onye amoro ka ndi Igbo sikwa okona ka eji agwa na Igbo enwere Igbo sika ife eji abu Igbo erika so ọ bụ na ọ ya nwụrụ take the heat nsogbu adọrọ ụbọchị nta ka chụọ na wele nchi ka ga n'ihu daalụ
Chief, I think let's just go ahead with the reactions and all that. At least the space may ka onye ọbụla ghọtakwanu ka Prime Minister nwa echiche and coach okwu Ịmara kwa na onye nwa chọrọ ichi gị maka ndị na-complain na anyị na-ekwesịghị ịnọ n'ofu space nna ha fukenene ya ka ọ bịa anyị gee ya ntị mara ife ọ na-ekwu at least na some people enwe egonu comprehension methods ebe a from 1 to 10 enwego ndị maka ochie eche ego ndị maka ochie arụ ihe akwa Kim Jong Un ọ karị ihe ọ chọburu ikwu North Korea mana o mee mistake kwuo South Korea isi ndị mmadụ ajụ oyi that was a mistake ọ North Korea ka ọ chọrọ ikwu ọ Kim Jong Un ka ọ bụ mana
don't misrepresent him like that.
Eze Chite Okike abịa maka ebe ị nọ
what he says. They are trying to
You know what?
I will start him go ahead.
Post argument can worry with my can never sense when you call Camille nature no can judge.
Why am I when again? Why am I
today?
Why am I BP when again? Imana Prime Minister na
Visible Prime Minister.
Chalubiko,
very nonsensical people.
Eze Chite Okike abịa ma netwọk ga-adị ọnụ mma na ama m nọ n'ukwu osisi ifugo anyị ji jere n'ihu.
Well, more all bagon so Amazon King ekwu. Mana the common ọtụtụ mmadụ gwara ya ka ọ mata na onweghị ọwụghị onye Igbo karịa onye ọbụla na-ebe. Ọtụtụ n'ime anyị macha history anyị. Ma ndị a na-akụzi ugbu a ma ndị a kụziri before. Enweghị onye n'ebe a na-enweghị onye oluzuru na Biafra. So ya wuzie na mmadụ feeling na because imego onwe gị ekezi ha na-akpọ ya achụkwa abịa enweghị onye ga-ekwuzi nke ihe naanị nke i kwuru wuzi nke ka mma na ịchọrọ ọdịnamma ndị Igbo ọ enweghị ike ige ntị mana n'ihe ụmụnne gị na-ekwu mara ma enwe ihe ị ga-atụgharị chenjite ụfọdụ ihe ndị ị na-eme ndị nọ n'ala Igbo na-agwa gị sị ọ dịghị ọtụtụ mmadụ anazide na-apụta ezi akwa were nke anyị ka m akwụgodi n'azụ nwa afọ Imo steeti dị n'Owerri ụmụnne m niile nọ n'Owerri ụmụ anyị nọ n'Owerri enwere awụzikwa ebe mmadụ na-apụta mgbe ọbụla ọ chọrọ ka isi na ihe ị na-eme na ọ dị ụmụnne gị mma ị chọghị ịnụ ntị ofu ihe m chọrọ iji ya awụ ebe ọ sị na ọ gaghị ege Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ntị because na ọ nọ na DSS ya wụrụ na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu pụtara taa wee sị na ọ chọrọ ka akwụsị sitatuma ọ ga-ekwe because ote m siri na-anụ from ihe niile ọ na-ekwu ọ chọziri ka ọ wụrụ ya nwawụzi kọmanda already ọ sịgo na ya wụ prime minista so echeghụzi m na ọ chọdịrị ịga rout Nnamdi Kanu because enweghị mgbe mụnwa na onwe m ekwetachaghị n'ihe niile Nnamdi Kanu kwudere na ya mana mụnwa filiri na ya wụrụ ya nwa ọ gaghị agba nkịtị n'ụdị ọbara niile a na-awụfu n'ala Igbo a na-awụfu ya ruo na ụbọchị taa ka isi m na ọwụ destabilization of Nigerian economy ebe akwa mmadụ agwala ya sị lekwa ihe ndị Niger Delta mere ọwụ nke ahụ we destabilize economy ihe ị na-egbu uwu ndị Igbo ibe gị ụmụ ala Igbo ka ị na-egbu businesses ka ị na-egbu o nweghị otu ọzọ enwere ike isi chọwa ihe a ya sị gị iwu ha onye Biafra onye gwara gị na ya wụghị onye Biafra ọtụtụ n'ime ndị mmadụ n'ebe a n'eziokwu ya wụrụ na ihe a na-akọ ugbu a bụ mmadụ onye n'ebe a chọrọ ka Biafra gawara onwe ha kepụ from Nigeria ọtụtụ n'ime anyị ga-enwe opinion nke anyị yes or no over that issue and they believe na enwere ọtụtụ because of what Nigeria si dị ugbu a because of akpamagwa a na-akpasa ụmụ Igbo enwere ọtụtụ ndị ga-asị na ha chọrọ ka anyị mee ya mana ka emezie ya ọfụma ka ọ bụrụ na ya agaghị awụfusi ọbara ụmụnne anyị o nweghị otu ọzọ ya urugodu na anyị chọrọ ka a na-echeta ifeatị ihe nke a gwụrụ m ike ya urugodu na isi oke ka chọọ n'ụzọ ọzọ mebi focus ọ na ịkpọlata ụmụ Igbo na outside ala Igbo lọbata na n'ala Igbo bido merenụ biznes n'ala Igbo ka anyị dochita n'ala Igbo ka Naijiria hụ na anyị nwere uru anyị bara mụnwa amakwa ọ gbago ọsọ enwe much to say mụnwa tinyere obere poolu n'ebe a sị ke mmadụ ole like sit at home a ke ndị na-achọghị ihe ọ chọrọ ịna owo as long as ọwụ ya nwa kwuru ọgwụna ọwụ eze onye agwala m So gbasa hụzi ya.
Una akpọrọ
Biko na
Daman,
ọgwụgwụ.
unu just na panda to his
IJ, can I ask you a
opinion.
question?
Una akpọrọ ya iyi.
Mba, chalụnụ
Una
ka
akpọrọ
anyị
Daman iyi.
mee n'ihe a one by one. Biko, Ebuka, bubu chelo.
Una panda to his sense.
Bubu chelo. Ka
Choose ngekwu okwu.
Let's take it one by
Ịnwe
one.
isi ọ chọrọ ịjụ m ajụjụ.
I don't just understand eziokwu. I understand the hum. No, because when Samuel was here, I wanted to ask him a question.
Akwa gị kwesịrị ịga next before nwoke mmadụ eburu n'vupu.
I don't. First of all, can I say the record straight? For the again, to Simon, Prime Minister, but the head of government everywhere in the world.
This man.
Onwe ihe ọbụla na-eme na UK, ọ Richi Sunak ka a ga-ejide. Ọ bụrụ the royal family. Onye nwa ka a ga-ewepụ, onye nwa ka a ga-ejide. Second, enwe yardstick measure economic impact ihe ọ na-eme. Ndị mmadụ na-azụ ahịa na Lagos, ndị mmadụ na-azụ ahịa na Edo steeti, ndị mmadụ na-azụ ahịa na Ogun steeti. Mana ndị mmadụ ada azụ ahịa na Ana Igbo. So it is clear na ndị Igbo na-asọfa. So ihe nchọ ịgwa Simon biko unu na-anụ ihe ọ na-ekwu. Ọkụ unu mana Gandhi ọnụ for years before Britain arapụ India. Biko Simon chelo because Gandhi na-ebu ọnụ ndị India na-eli nri. Right? Because na Gandhi feel that na yes, na ihe bụ my cross. Because Simon feel no his cross. Unu wa feel no cross unu. Biko unu gwa Simon, ya bido ibu ọnụ ka Gandhi si wee buo ọnụ. Ka anyị nwa ka ndị mmadụ zụwa ahịa, ka ndị mmadụ gaa liba n'ala Igbo. Then mgbe international community ji recognize ya, then anyị gwaru Biafra.
Okay, now let the picture this man. Bam. Picture.
This is so annoying. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, right? Because FDI, right? Abia State, but the third or fourth state with the foreign direct investment. Na Nigeria. Na last quarter. Go see that now. Yes, you can measure economic activities. In Haicho, body here otine nyai. It doesn't go beyond that. So, obuna unu unu gene where obi oma towards ndị Igbo. Bikonu banyanu na state, bidonu na state. Nigeria na agbagodo ọkụ. Obuna anyị nwa Alex Oti n'Imo state, na Anambra, na Ebonyi state, na Enugu state. I ga-adị oyi, I ga-adị mma.
Alex Oti.
Then I don't call it very clear. Unu niile bụ ndị oshi. Unu ji anyị Igbo eri ọrụ. Unu niile. Because in anya nkịta anụ for the past 7 hours, onwe onye kwetara n'ofu ihe. Ejide onye ebe ọmị ebe a. Ejide onye ebe ọmị ebe a. Onye apụtasị na-enwezi iPod. Onye na-apụtasị na-enwezi nke anụnwa. Simon ebe apụtasị na Biafra. Ejide ebe ọmị ebe unu nche niile were ọkụrụ wee saa ahụ. Onwe n'ime unu ga-stand nwu kweta n'ofu ihe si oke o n'ọkwa ihe a. Ejiri ụda.
Mmadụ na-ekwu okwu du. Ọkụ ibe niile na-ekwu okwu ebe a mgbe nwere isi. Chele. Kedu aba ya? Okay.
Eze Chito Kabia mean on transit network in a break for Marco.
Are you data?
Let me just quickly debunk what he said about Prime Minister being head of state. First of all,
head of government.
No.
No. Oh, Mama Sita. Is it still Kabiama? In a name, Neku.
No, I quit because I'm from one network.
Can enter the program.
We were Biafrans.
Umuchideke, na Prime Minister bụ a very humble man. Ọ bụ a very humble man. Ndị abụ Honda na n'etiti ha. Ndị abụ that's ọ gwago okwu gwacha ha okwu because na ike na-ebube si wee bịa ọ na-achọzi ịpụ ndị anyị na-ayọsịkwa biko epụkwa na apụkwa chere because farmer no ya bụ onye ndu ha farmer ya bụ onye na-egosi ụzọ farmer ya bụ onye na-afụ ụzọ na fancha niile kpuru isi. They are all blind. All of them are blind. That is why you see them clamoring. You know, till tomorrow, you are in Finland. You know, was it at home? Biafrans do not know that he's leading them well. Will they be sitting at home? They will not be sitting at home. If Biafrans do not know that this thing is going to be working for them, will they be sitting at home? They will not be sitting at home. Therefore, let us move. Upon. Let us go for fundraising.
Thank you very much. He joined this wonderful broadcast. Our interview by our leader, our leader Batobie. Leader Nabakam, when about Batobie. So, Diana join our fundraising. Tiny phone because I because I join the fundraising now. Thank you. I will appointment. I visited this woman.
Yes.
I visit this woman personally with this nonsense. This broadcast I use we gave a then I will dress one by one. Then I bought one. I be meet other than Bonande. Kai Sonia, or even now. I'm like you, the Madia. Did you wait channel in Facebook? Whatever one of them or a bread. Oh, Mazindo politicians in a capital, but over they tell apartment. I like it. He lose the honor. Where I like he lose the politician. Because I want to watch these ladies in the with no more getting by their voice. Oh, no, Naketa. When you don't want your watch and no one of 50 something years up. I want to know what I call it. Koni Kalananka like this. I will dress her tomorrow. So, Mundem, and I'm making it. Hello?
As I call one time, I got by a Zoom or as I call on.
Okay. Hello? Okay. Hello?
That na the photo picture onye need the wu that man kpọrọ nose na Igbo na our PME na ndị Igbo niile na-ebe akwa Bamba biko you know that place that man flow people na our leader our PME
yes nke kpọrọ ya idiot so na ya no Igbo
okay Akwa hey
Simon na-egbu ha biko you
hey up go from this space. Up to go from this space.
Also, nearly why no any affair now because
but I need the picture now on the Zoom now. Oh no, and I hear the one in space, rewind. Here. Here.
Now this is Zoom even my Obatobi on all record here. Obatobi record near no. About to be a record there, not Twitter.
End their program. I got Pepe Studio alone there.
I joined fundraising. I joined Kunu Nine Solomon. I joined a fundraising, and they actually Kunu Batana the Zoom. May send the Zoom for everybody. You know, ngwano muchineke